Good morning, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to Pulaski County Fiscal Court. As is customary, we like to open up our court meeting with pledge of allegiance. Today, I've asked Ms. Betty Cook, if she'd be so kind, to open it up. Everybody, please stand.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Really? That's
Go ahead and call this meeting to order. First item on the agenda then will be the approval of the minutes from our previous meeting. You all received a copy of those. What would be your?
Steve, I got a question about number 10. Where it says, favorite rental in Nice Lane. I went out and took a look at that, and it's not on Nice Lane. It's on Heather's Hills Drive. Blacktop we put down, so I'd like that. I'd like that motion.
Heather Hills Drive instead of Knights Lane.
Number 10.
Actually, the road connects to Knights Lane, so it's probably just a.
Knights Lane comes up across the hill and connects into Heather Hills, but Blacktop is on Heather Hills.
Get them to send you another invoice, just so you'll have your record will be consistent with the minutes.
Changes?
Motion to approve with the changes.
Second.
Second, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Next item on the agenda then, we have Ms. Charlotte Keeney here from the Library Board. I guess we talk about our new board appointments.
Thanks for letting me come this morning. We have two board members that are, one is up for reappointment, and we have a new one. I think you have the papers in front of you. Heidi Schultz Powers, hers is up for reappointment. I would like to, if it's at the court's discretion, to allow her to continue to serve another term on our board. And the new one is Joseph Quinton, if the court would allow him to be appointed to the board.
Charlotte and I talked about this past couple weeks here, and I would make the recommendation that we accept those two for appointment to the Pulaski County Library Board.
Motion.
Second, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, then we have Ms. Carol Sexton, who's going to speak to us regarding the Dolly Parton Imagination Library.
Good morning. Thank you for letting me address you. I'm going to tell you some numbers. Some of them are great, some of them are not so great. The Dolly Parton Imagination Library is part of, we're an affiliate of the nationwide, it's actually international now with in Canada and British Columbia. There are also other Dolly Parton Imagination Library. We are blessed to be an affiliate here, which means children birth to age 5 receive a new book mailed to them every month until they reach age 5. These books are age and stage appropriate. This is Stand Tall, Molly Llewellyn, which is a fabulous book if you've never read it. And then we have Llama Llama Red Pajamas. Each child, depending on their age, gets a book. And board books for young children where the pages cannot be torn. In Pulaski County, 5.6% of our population are those age 5 and younger. Of those people that live in Pulaski County, 23% live in poverty. We know that in order to have a community that continues to grow and a workforce that supports that community, we have to have readers. We have to have lifelong learners. And we know that putting books into the homes of children, and I'll give you these statistics. Books in the home of children. 56% of the children who are signed up for our Imagination Library do not have library cards, nor do their caregivers. So we know that these are reaching people that otherwise would not have books in their home. And books in their home are more likely to be picked up and read. And we know that early literacy matters. If a child is not reading on grade level by grade 3, odds are that they will never read on grade level, no matter how hard we work to make that up. We have 1,026 children enrolled in our Dolly Parton Imagination Library, but we have 220 children waiting. It costs us about $28 a year to sponsor a child. Now, each month, we have 1,026 children times 28. Our monthly bill is $2,500. We are responsible for fundraising that and getting that here. We do our sit and read auction. We are having another fundraiser in April. We are constantly soliciting, and that's why you see me here today. I would love to tell you that it all works out and that we have the money. We do have the money. That's why we have 220 children waiting, is because we want to be fiscally responsible and not get more children than we can meet the needs of. So I'm here to ask you if somehow our wonderful county can do this and put it somewhere in your budget to at least sponsor maybe 20 children, maybe 100 children. We have, those 220 children are waiting, and we can't put them in. Here's a statistic. 3 out of 5 people in prison can't read. We have to get them when they're young. I'm preaching to the choir here, but I know that in our community there are parents who need to understand the value of reading and early literacy. I can tell you a story. An educator went into a house in Pulaski County, and this child received a book once a month. She went into the home and she saw these books and they were still wrapped up like this. They hadn't been opened. And so the educator said, I'm not sure I understand, why are these books still wrapped up? Why haven't you been reading them? And the mother said, my child has never gotten anything new before. And we didn't want him to get dirty. Our goal is for books to get so dirty they have to be replaced. So dog-eared that they can, no longer the pages, you're missing a page in that book. And so one of the things that we want to do is bring these into the lives of every child in Pulaski County if we can. Only 41% of our children are ready for kindergarten in Pulaski County. The state average is 50%. We know that this is another layer that will help ensure that our children are school ready and ready to become lifelong learners. So I just ask you to think about that. You can sponsor a child yourself individually. We have ways for you to make a difference in the life of a child, and there's no greater thing than helping a child in our community. Closing, I guess I would say that one of the things that our state is not known for in a positive way sometimes is education. In the state of Tennessee, Dolly Parton, the state of Tennessee funds every child in their state. And last year, I believe that the House and Senate voted to, yay, we should do Dolly Parton in every county in the state. However, there's no money attached to that. So it's up to each individual affiliate to sponsor and fund their own children. So I would just ask you to think about that.
Here we have our budget workshops, excuse me, be coming up this next month, and if you would like to get something in writing and specific amount that you're requesting, I can't guarantee if we need to talk.
Right.
That would be the.
So I shoot high.
Shoot high.
Shoot high. And right here
Get
you
one
will
shot,
find
so-
ours. We actually have a board that oversees us. Jim Tackett is our board chairperson, but this is our annual report. We are a 501c3. We have a board, and we have to file, just like every other entity that deals with money and the public's money, and so we're completely transparent. So here's our financial report, too, for each of you. But I certainly will do that. What day do you need me to get this?
March 1st, we start talking.
If it's tomorrow, that's fine.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Item on the agenda then, we've got Mr. Aaron Dockery here with District 8 Highway Department, and is going to speak to us regarding our road program.
Good morning. Like I said, my name is Aaron Dockery, and I'm here on behalf of the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet to present 2017-2018 Rural Secondary Road Program recommendation for Pulaski County. The allotment for the next fiscal year totals $2,095,081. And there is also a small amount of remaining funds, which I actually just got a text message about, that can change that a little bit. Of this allotment, funds for routine and traffic maintenance will be withheld. These withheld funds are set as a fixed cost of $1,047,500 based on the approximately 221 miles of rural secondary routes in the county. Also from this allotment, flex funds will be given to Pulaski County as in years past in the expected amount of, I just got a text message that's been updated from Stuart, $532,017. These funds, as in years past, can be used to improve county roads or rural secondary roads as this fiscal court sees fit. It's our recommendation that the fiscal court considers its improvement priority list in order to finalize and forward it to the Office of Rural Roads for review as soon as possible, and to ensure that the funds are distributed as quickly as possible. The total remaining allotment, $1,081,484, will be used for improvement of state rural secondary roads. And we're proposing the following improvement projects. Apply surface treatment to Kentucky 1721 Estisburg Road, beginning at 1247, extending easterly to the end of state maintenance. Resurfacing Kentucky 1317 Pine Hill Road, beginning at Kentucky 80, extending northerly to Kentucky 39. Resurface Kentucky 1675, the staff community, beginning at Kentucky 1003, extending northerly to Sandy Gap Road, and an asphalt patching project on Kentucky 769 Rush Branch Road in various areas beginning at the end of state maintenance and extending northerly to Kentucky 914. These proposed routes reflect the suggestions of engineers in District 8 for the 2017-2018 fiscal year rural secondary program. The final decisions for these projects will be made in Frankfurt. Any recommendations from this fiscal court will be carefully considered. If there are any questions, I will answer them to the best of my ability, and if there are none, I would ask the court to approve these recommendations.
I do have a question. It's something that I've been talking about recently, and I know that the county has been requesting for years, and District 1, Highway 196. I know they had on a 6-year plan to straighten that road,
Yes.
but if we can't get it straightened, can we at least get some high-friction surfacing in the short term? That would be my plea to the state to do for us.
Actually, Stuart talked to me about this yesterday, and he thought it might come up, but I'm very familiar with it. I was actually on the project farther down 196 that we did there at Sputter Creek. Last year, we replaced the culvert, and a lot of people were wondering why we were doing that instead of straightening those curves. Well, the money that we use, the funding, is very complicated. And actually, that job was funded completely by the federal government, the job we did farther down. I don't have information exactly. I can tell you that it is most definitely on the state's radar. It may even have plans in the 6-year plan to be done, but with these RS funds, it would be a very large-scale project. And so we would be neglecting other areas in order to do one major project. The high-friction surface, that's a whole different animal because it's still kind of experimental, the places we put it and where it goes, and it's also very, very costly. But the state is definitely recognizing the 196 project and the idea of straightening out that curve, and we're trying to find a solution that can be both economical and not cause traffic problems as far as while we're working on it, because like the 196 project that we shut down that section caused traffic backing up and a big detour, and we're trying to figure out the best way to do it and to get it done with the funding that we have to deal with. So that's, as far as the particulars of when it will be done and how it will be done, I don't have that information. We'd have to meet with Tammy, the chief district engineer, or Bill Cheney, the branch manager of project and procurement, as far as details and specifics and how it is. And like I said, every final decision is made in Frankfurt. So all they have is the crash diagram information. So whatever's reported by police agencies in that area are the crashes that they recognize. So if those crashes are reported later on outside of that area, they don't show up. If crashes happen and aren't turned into insurance or police aren't called, they don't show up. So the only information they can analyze in Frankfurt is the information they have, and then they take into consideration the ideas and the questions that the counties have. So all we can tell you is that we're gonna try our best to get it done. And really, I'm not the one to ask that because I'm kind of low man on the totem pole that got sent here because my supervisor got sick. But, so I don't have an answer for you on 196, but if there needs to be a meeting about 196 specifically, we can have that meeting with the right people and get you the answers that you're looking for on that project.
I just want to ask Stacy Halcomb here, he's our new emergency management director. Is there any way that you can check with the fire departments there and see if you've got a log of responses to that location? Because I know every time there is a bad wreck. If we can maybe find some supporting documentation for this, because, you know, it really is a problem, and it's the same result each time. The cars leave the road, they hit the bank, they flip. And there have been deaths, and there have been near deaths, and
Yeah, we're completely, it's a shame that it's that way, but everybody knows how it works. When there's a fatality, people start paying attention. And that, it's terrible that it's that way, but we have so many lane miles of road to maintain and so
Join the club.
little of a budget, like everybody. I know you all deal with it just like we deal with it. It's priority based, and any additional information is gonna do nothing but help the situation. We're not closing off from information or trying to avoid the situation. We realize that there's more than one area in Pulaski County that needs a complete renovation of the roads. We just don't have the funds to do every project in 1 year. That's what we run into, and maybe with the new administration in the White House, there will be more funds allotted from the federal government, more help there, and maybe we can get, but we just don't know how all that's gonna work out.
And also another thing too, 196 wouldn't be eligible for rural secondary because rural secondary is resurfacing only.
Right.
It's not for straightening.
if we did the
Sure.
high friction surface, that's what I would.
The high
But
friction surface
it's
is
not-
actually in another funding called
Exactly.
HSIP, which is a federally backed funding. Like, for example, the project on Pump House that we did last year, there was some high friction on it, but it's a dual funded program. And that's something else that we can look at, is doing a dual funded program like that. We've had a lot of success with the high friction. And that's something that I don't even know if they've had a chance to look at that as far as doing it in that location.
I think the high friction would help in that area. It might not completely fix it, but I think it would help just,
Right, and they're coming, like I said, that's kind of experimental and it's kind of costly, which they figured out ways with competition to bring the price down some, and they're gonna continue to do that. So it's trying to figure out what the right fix is, because like you said, high friction might help that problem, but at the same time, it might be so close cost-wise that we're smarter to go ahead and fix the road. So it's one of those deals, it's a balancing act. We've got to figure out where the right place is to spend the money and what project we actually want to do. And that's not a decision that I make or anybody at the district office makes. It comes from higher than us. So it's one of those, we don't really have the information, but we are well aware of 196 and the issue out there and the fact that the county really, really wants that job done.
So you need from us then a motion to accept what you
Yes.
turned in?
Motion.
Motion?
Second.
Second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
nah.
Aye.
Any opposed? Darren? Okay, next item then on the agenda will be our old business, and we have opening of a sealed bid today. Mark, do you have the sealed bid?
Removal and installation of new fuel dispensers.
I think it's a little more. Oh, yeah.
Total bid price, $28,948.76. It was due to be turned in by 9:30 today, and it was stamped in yesterday at 9:54 a.m.
Motion to accept the bid for second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Since we only got one bid, can we go ahead and accept them to do the work?
As long as it meets the specifications, somebody probably needs to make sure it does that.
We have, Leslie and, Connie Kane, would you go back with them? Make sure it meets specs. The next item then on the agenda will be our second reading of budget amendment ordinance. Jill, would you like to address that?
Yes. This is the second reading of the budget amendment that we had previously accepted. It has been reviewed by Department for Local Government, and it is in order. So all I ask is a motion to accept the amendment to add receipts to the budget.
Motion.
Motion.
Second. Second, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you. I will need your signature, Judge.
All right, and the next item on the agenda would be correction of this easement at the Senior Citizen Center. It was brought to us at the last meeting, and basically we are changing the easement from one side of the property to the other, and we've got a plat that describes that.
It was already, the drainage, I think, is, utility easement is already there, but it wasn't put where the prior easement, the prior deed of easement called for it to be. So this terminates the old easement and describes where the new easement actually is constructed.
Motion to accept this.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. We've got, in new business, we have Pulaski County Detention Center personnel policy. Jason, would you like to?
I think everybody has a copy of the disc for the new policy. There's very little changes in it at all. We've had to tweak it because there were some typographical errors in some of it before. The only major change in it is that we did not have a policy for our body scanner at the time because it was new. We were the first detention center state to have one, so there wasn't anything to go by. So we had to reach out to other states and get their policies from theirs, and that took a little while, but we do have the policy, and it is in that new thing, and that's basically the only thing. We did make a little change to our hiring procedure, or the test that we take prior to you being hired. You have to take a physical fitness test, and we've changed some times on that to make times, hopefully people can pass those things. But basically, we just want everybody to kind of be healthy before we hire them, and that's what we put in there. So that's the only little change in that one that we made.
Was there any change in, David, about the personnel carrying guns or anything like that, or?
Well, they're deputies, so they all carry guns other than ones that aren't sworn. Nobody carries them inside the facility, you know.
Nobody takes them inside the facility?
Oh, I mean, you're not allowed to carry them inside. Inside the facility is a broad area, I guess. They're inside the building, they're not inside the secured area of the jail. Everybody carries them into the building, puts them in a locker that y'all just agreed for us to get, and that's a great thing, because we needed that. Now they can put them in that while they're on duty. If they go out on transportation or anything, they go get their weapon, and then they go on the transportation. And then they put them back in, when they come back, they lock them back up.
Take them home and?
They take them home. Yes. As any law enforcement agency in the state of Kentucky, you'll know, the state police, they're all issued by one department, everybody carries an issued gun from the state police, city police have their guns, the sheriff's department, I think, requires all their deputies have an issued gun from their department. So it's just safe, it's just a general thing that everybody carries an issued weapon from their department.
Have we ever had an incident with the jail or whatever that would make us think that they needed guns?
They're killing police officers every day. And
Excuse me?
They're killing police officers every day across our country. You know, these guys are deputies. They're sworn officers, just like they have the same power as a deputy sheriff. They have the same power as a city police officer. You know, they're in a uniform. You know, there's ambushes, there's things, you see ambushes every day of correctional officers all the way across the country. Our people are no different than anybody else. We're kind of stuck in the past. You know, we want to say, why have we not had an issue? We don't want to wait for that issue for it to happen. It'd be terrible for one of our officers to be somewhere in a uniform and not have a weapon to defend themselves or defend your wife or your granddaughter or anybody that needed help.
I agree. Are they secure in the jail where the inmates, if there was a riot or anything, where they couldn't get to them or anything?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. They're not in the secured portion of the jail. There are no weapons in the secured portion of the jail. It's up to the jailer's discretion of who carries a gun inside the jail. I don't carry one in there. I don't want anybody else to carry one in there, because that's a weapon that somebody can have and at least have 14 shots or whatever, how many rounds they want to do whatever they want to do. So,
Well, I mean, the reason for my question is, one time you told me I needed to get educated on what.
absolutely. I want you to get, I want everyone up.
Comment or anything.
Exactly, and I appreciate that. Education is.
That's why I'm asking the question, so you'll know.
Thank you.
Any other questions? We would entertain a motion then to accept the jailer's policy and procedure manual as presented.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
No.
No.
Let's just go ahead and do that roll call for the record, if you would, please.
Yes. Yes.
No.
Motion carries. Thank you, Taylor. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the resolution. Resolution for coal severance, and basically what you got there, gentlemen. Years ago, I don't know how many years, but it's been a few years, they put monies from coal severance to the side for Rupp Arena. And as you all heard at our last conference here, they're gonna be giving this money back to the counties, by percentage. And we'll be getting some money back, and I think this resolution calls for us to use that money that we're receiving to put towards our Alzheimer's Center, who is struggling to keep their doors open. And if we can help them out, maybe they can find a long-term solution for funding. You got a copy of that resolution?
This reason we got this money is because it's set aside for that, right?
This,
For the all-timers and.
now, this particular resolution, this money, actually, I think they took it from the counties for an improvement at Rupert Road, and they had leftover, and so they're redistributing it back to the counties by percentage. You know, we don't get as much as some of the eastern Kentucky counties do, but we'll get a small percentage back, and what comes back to us, we like to offer that to the Alzheimer's Center to help them through this difficult transition they're in.
Motion. Second.
Second. Any further discussion on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. I know they'll appreciate that as well.
I think like $6,000.
6,000?
The next item on the agenda will be a resolution for refinancing of some AOC bonds that we have. Joan, you want to speak to that again?
I sure can. Basically, what this is a resolution to allow us to begin the refinancing process of the AOC bonds. We had 2 AOC bonds on our judicial center. Last year, we refinanced one, and this year we have the opportunity to refinance another one. This is no cost to us. The state is paying the bond payment, but what this is allowing us to do in the refinance, it allows us to recapture, or us to capture, period, part of the savings that the state will receive. So it is costing us nothing, it is gaining us. So to me, it is a win-win situation.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
We'll get the ball rolling. Thank you, gentlemen.
Next item on the agenda then, we would like to request to advertise for a sealed bid, and this is, we just recently received our trail grant. We want to take this out to bid, and Johnny Kane has put this together. And we just want to give you permission to take that and advertise that publicly. Any questions? Johnny can answer. If not,
Just extending the trails, is that what we're doing?
yeah, we're gonna use that grant money to extend the trails, but we need to advertise for a contractor to do that. Motion to advertise. Motion second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Go back to our sealed bid. Does the committee have, did you find anything you'd like to recommend?
Recommend that we accept Ross Petroleum.
Second.
Motion second then to accept the bid for Ross Petroleum. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. So it'll bring us to our department reports. Sheriff, you have anything that you'd like to report today? We already heard from our jailer. Do you have anything else?
We're looking, we checked all the state bids for a skid loader. With that skid loader, it comes a bush hog, a grapple, a forklift, bucket, and due to the fact we're working on all these graveyards and there's a lot of trees, a lot of fence rows and everything, and plus when there's storms and stuff, this thing can be used for the same purposes for that. We're setting up a course there at the back of the jail to train the inmates how to operate that machinery because they don't have very much skill set. Most of them work in construction themselves, and that's what they're working in. We're trying to get them skill in that. That's the only reason it can be used for. They have to be the one that operates it. They have to be the one to use it. We'll take it out to the job sites. The inmates will be the ones that are doing all the work with our supervisor overlooking it. Like I said, it is a state bid. It's just been brought to our attention. We need to bring it up to the fiscal court, let you know what we're trying to do with this. Purchase price for the skid loader itself, with under state bid was 49,000, and with the equipment and everything, total was 57.5, I believe it was, 56,500. All that money will be paid for out of the inmate canteen account, no cost to the county. It's all paid strictly for that. There won't be any interest paid. It'll be paid straight out to them. So actually, it's a win-win. The county can use it, during a storm, but inmates have to be the ones, go out with them. And we'll have a trailer and a truck, of course, to pull it with. And it's just a great tool to have. Like I said, it's another training tool that we have to use to train inmates with.
Do you still have the tractors and everything you had over there?
They're all sold in that, whatever, the first thing y'all had in the first year. We don't have anything of that. They used
Back
my
to you though,
tractor.
didn't it? It went back to the commissary money?
We didn't get that money at that time. We didn't receive any of that money. But, bottom line is, they used my tractor last year. I've got a little tractor, front end loader. They used it over at the garage, over to the jail, cleaned it off. What we're looking to also help this is we're right across the street from EMS. Inmate can hop on this thing, do our driveway, go across the street, do the EMS parking lot. We've also got new pickups now, that we've got grader blades on it, so we can take these out, take a crew out, hit these little streets, take inmates with us, let them have the shovels, and if it's, have the snow in front of the driveways and stuff, people call and complain. We can have somebody rolling over there and trying to take care of that.
It's all the commissary money, is that
It's
correct?
all the commissary money, all inmate money. So, it's just a win for the county. It's just another piece of equipment that's added into the coffer.
Thank you very much.
David?
Judge, I think that may have to be voted on in order to do that.
Not for commissary.
Well, the auditor said that, it is with auditor's money. They said that we need to bring that up for the court to get their approval. It's something they saw there. We've never done it in the past, but they mentioned it. The guy retired 3 days after he mentioned it, so,
Oh, why? I didn't know
Maybe
what
we'll see if the next one mentions it.
yeah. All I say is they said to bring it up. It's in your all's corner.
Well, I guess, it doesn't hurt to vote on it, or you could just reflect it in the minutes, either one.
I don't care a bit to make a motion if we need one. I make a motion that we let the jailer buy that equipment out of commissary money.
With bid approved. With
Bid approved,
state
bid
state
approved,
bid.
yes, sir.
Second.
Second, any further discussion? All in favor?
Nah.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you, Jalen. Coroner's not with us today. County Clerk's Office that you need to report? Oh, you're here, I'm sorry.
That's okay. No, not today, but thank you. She does a much better job of that than I can.
It's Clyde's sake.
Do you have anything from Public Safety, Stacy?
I just want to touch on a couple of things that was going on before I come in on the transition here. The mobile command unit that was purchased by the hazmat team is now back in the county. As soon as they get equipped, any county agency or anything needs to use that or for any long period of time or whatever this costs. And
I know Ross is having a cow back there because you're not at the microphone, but,
Is
if
there a
you'd like to say
microphone?
that, just we are broadcasting this out for public, so for their benefit. Thank you.
That has one.
got it, Ross. The command vehicle that was purchased before Tiger went out is now back in the county, and it'll be 10/8 operational before long. Also, the underwater camera that the rescue squad had purchased through the fiscal court, it arrived yesterday, so they'll be training on it, and it should be ready for summertime. So, if we need anything.
All right, thank you. Yeah, Ryan, you want to address the course?
All we needed was the approval on the road work request list.
Talk in the microphone.
I've got a copy of your road work request. Do you have any questions?
I've got a speed limit sign, which is already probably speed limit signs out there, but Bill Ball out on Old Shopville Road. Called and said that we're flying up down through there in front of the school. If it's not already set, we're 25 miles per hour.
Motion for that? Motion and second then to limit the speed limit to 25 miles an hour on Old Chapel Road. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Any other questions on the road work request?
Make a motion.
Second.
Got a motion and second to accept those. Any further discussion? All in favor?
No.
Any opposed? Have we heard any news on Jordan's baby yet from the road department?
I know he had it yesterday.
Yeah.
We had it.
I know that it was just healthy, they're coming home tomorrow, they're in London, like 8 pound, 11 ounces, everything's good.
Chunky monkey.
A boy or?
Another little road worker.
Aaron, do you have anything from 911 today? Adam, you have anything from animal shelter? Down to our treasurer's report.
Y'all save the best for last or
Yeah,
worst for last?
We've got a little bit of stuff for us to look through here.
Thank you, Leslie. First, I have budget transfer, a set of budget transfers. They are for every fund. There are budget transfers in every fund except for grant fund.
Motion.
Got a motion to accept the budget transfers?
Second.
Second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed?
Also, the monthly bank reconciliation for the month of January for your approval.
Motion.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
One other thing we do have is, or I do have, is our workers' comp insurance has, we've had our yearly audit on our workers' comp insurance. And in that, they found that from last year's to this year's payroll numbers in some various class codes, it has changed, which that will mean is it will change from our previous quote that we received in October. I just wanted to make you all aware, and with your permission, with your motion and approval, instead of getting one large bill at the end of the year to make up for the premiums that have changed, I would like to spread it across all the months. They do it monthly. We're billed monthly on workers' comp. So it will make it a lot easier to budget, but for auditing purposes, since it will change from our original quote we received, I would like a motion just to make it clean with the auditors so they don't slap my wrist.
You know the amount of change that you're talking about from the quote?
It was the amount of change in payroll or the amount of change in
What they
money?
quoted us, yeah, for.
It's gonna be about 15,000.
Bill that, you wanna do that quarterly then?
They'll do it monthly. They'll do it whenever they bill us, they'll do it. It will be on the bill.
Be on the bill list, right?
It is, yes, normally on the bill list.
I mean, if it helps you, I don't have a problem costing any more.
Right, it's a lot easier because when we do start it, you never know when it's gonna come in, if it's gonna be a good cash flow month or a bad cash flow month, so it's a lot easier to do it as you go, just like it would be in your own life.
Motion.
Second.
Motion second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed?
And also, you should have received your monthly bill list for January or February. It is February.
Bill list, you have any questions or?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the bill list. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Like the judge said earlier, we are getting ready for budget workshop, or my budget workshop that I go to with DLG. So we will be starting to work on the budget soon, or I will be starting to work on the budget soon. And any questions anybody might have, let me know. But the budget workshop is Friday, yes. Yes, it is. Other than that, all I can say is happy Valentine's Day, gentlemen.
Before we adjourn, I'll be on vacation during the next meeting, and I won't be here on the 28th.
Anything else from you gentlemen? Oh, yeah, I about forgot, thank you. We have this first reading of the electrical inspection ordinance. I'm gonna try to close that loophole. a little
Yeah,
bit.
good idea.
That extra
Thank you,
bill.
Martin.
And I'll just summarize it. The only thing changing is on large commercial and industrial projects, and it's, I think it did say 9%, and now it's gonna say $125 per hour with the total not to exceed 1% of the contract price. I think that's the language y'all want.
What do we need to do just to open this up, where we're open county instead of a closed county on this?
This ordinance we have to go through? I don't think so, but let me look at that. I remember when we went through it before, it's a statutory thing, where you're open or closed county. It seems like we talked about that when I first came on. You were a closed county, you went with that was.
What we're getting now is that this gentleman is kind of abusing his authority. You know, that guy can do it now. And you do that with three, there used to be three, yeah. Now there's just one guy, two of them pass. Yeah, and if well, this one guy is telling everybody, you do it like I say. Yeah. Well, I'll report back to you next meeting. Okay.
Can I go say this regarding this?
Yeah.
Speak in your microphone. I can't hear you.
Apologize for the noise, it's progress. All right, so.
I thought the RECC would go at years past. Years past, RECC used to do the inspections, you know. This fee is actually, if you look at the 12 counties surrounding Pulaski, is in line with what's going on in other counties.
It is or is not?
It is.
Even the 1%?
Yes, yes. And the reasoning is this, not that, if you first look at it, it does look pricey, but for example, with your commercial, for example, like you're doing a hotel, they have to come in so many more times to check certain work. And if not, some of the work may go on and then not be able to inspect. So it's a whole lot more in depth as far as labor, but it is, when I looked into it, it is the same in the region of Dare County. I mean, it's nothing different going on in Pulaski County, it's not nothing different.
I've had complaints that they're making them pay the fee about 3 times before they get a job completed and pass the inspection.
And Jimmy, you're right about that, probably, because the problem we run into is, people to do the inspections, they're really getting more and more challenging to find. And I think this guy here that's doing our inspection, I actually think he lives in McCord County, I think.
He doesn't.
I mean, we went outside the county and
Here's the call that I got on it, okay, just so, that's why this is all kind of moving to a head, I think we all kind of got it. He went out and inspected the house, okay, and the guy had one plug in, turned upside down. Instead of just letting the electrician turn it over, okay, he charged him for coming out and telling him that that plug was upside down, and then he charged him again for coming back and looking to see if he changed it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, it's a touchy situation, you know what I'm saying? And if I'm the only one that's doing it, you're gonna have to do it like I say, pay whatever I say, unless we can work it out here some way that they don't have to. You charge him $75 a trip, wait, don't be just let the money and give it in lobster, somebody get it. Now, this is just from contractor, okay, contractor side, there's two sides to every story. I got that one from contractor, I think you guys did too, did your call. Yeah.
Well, a whole lot of stuff based on honor system.
Exactly.
Exactly. We can make it down the road if y'all get it. We can make it, more involved, make it more restrictive on the inspectors and what they can charge. I don't know what effect that would have, it may make it more difficult.
May make you slower get there.
Yeah, exactly.
Hold my house up and I'm trying to get there. You know, it's a touchy situation, any way we go at it.
If we opened it up and let more than one inspector in here, wouldn't that help?
Well, that's not, that's certainly, that's what I think, that's what they're talking about, making an open county where anyone can come in.
We have this first reading, we need to vote on the first reading.
You need a vote to spend the funds, whatever.
We need a motion in to be able to advertise this ordinance change, ordinance amendment. Motion for that. Motion, second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, thank you. No further business then, I take a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second. All in favor? Any opposed?
Having fun.
Happy Valentine's Day.
The inspector.